Hello and welcome to Lucky Lake Duck Dash Round 2 Game 3. I practiced. So now I have to try not to get eliminated, so that I can actually generate some value of this practicing. So I'm 1-1 in this best of 3 match. And my opponent is going first because they scored more points in total than I did in the first 2 rounds. So there is a Phoebe and the Bee Eater in the tray, and probably nobody's interested in the Blackbird, even though it's pretty. So if my opponent picks the Phoebe, which I assume because it's probably the better bird, then I can maybe enjoy some free grubs, which would help play the Bee Eater. So if they pick this and nothing else relevant appears, I will take the Bee Eater, because also I don't want to have them play both of these in the same habitat. That would generate too much value. On the other hand, if they pick the Bee Eater, I will probably pick the Phoebe. Turning to my hand, I think the only really good bird is the Fish Crow. I mean, I also like Great Egret, but not on the opening hand. The Green Woodpecker doesn't do anything. No, it's not qualified for any of these. So I might take one of these migratory birds to accompany whatever company the Fish Crow will get. And if hell breaks loose, I can also discard it for another food. So what does the bonus card say? Wetland Scientist and Cup Nests. Great Egret would be great for the Wetland Scientist. I might pick this just to have it, but then again, Fish Crow cannot generate food on its own. It does need another bird. So, nah, I think I'll go for just keeping these two. Still taking the Wetland Scientist. And see what happens. So in any case, I will be happy about these Phoebe or Bee Eater, so that my Fish Crow is not alone with the food generating business in the grassland. Oh, Black Woodpecker. They did pick the Bee Eater. Interesting. Now what? Unfortunately, I don't have a berry, so picking the Black Woodpecker is probably not the best idea. I'll just take the Phoebe. Question is, where will the Phoebe go? I don't need some stuff in the wetlands, but I have this bonus card, so I think I'd rather play the Phoebe into the grassland as well as the Fish Crow, lay some eggs, draw some cards with Lincoln Sparrow. But Lincoln Sparrow then can move away to make way for the Waterbirds. So they have taken the woodpecker, which is fine. So they're relying heavily on rolling grubs. Also, woodpecker and bee eater don't have the greatest synergy because I mean, in the one direction it doesn't matter, but after activating the bee eater, either there are no grubs, then there are 5 dice that probably don't help the black woodpecker, or there are only 4 dice because 1 grub has already been taken. I don't know. It does pain me a bit to have to give away free grubs at this point, but they also help me because I want to spend the grub for the fish crow, lay eggs, probably generate another grub, and then play Lincoln Sparrow. I might want to generate the grub with a fish crow so that I don't need to give away too much free stuff. It depends. If they roll a grub with a bee eater now, they have the food for the... Oh, they don't. So they will have to overpay. Then I will definitely not give away free food. But generate it this way. That's very important because that will cost them a turn. I will play Lincoln Sparrow and draw cards. I will take none of these that are in the tray right now. And if it so happens that I can that I draw a bird that I can play with 1 lay eggs activation, then I might do that because it might be crucial for the round goal. They gained food. Okay. Interesting. So they've played the wood stork. They have 1 action left. If they have another 2 food bird, they win the round goal. Yeah, none of these birds I could play. I can... Oh, never mind. I don't have an action left. I only have 2 actions. I think I got confused with the egg count. No, I don't know. Still drawing cards. That's not really helping. So if they play another bird, they're at least further away from the black woodpecker, which might or might not be an advantage for me. Else, well, they have the first round goal. The junco might be an interesting bird. I can play it in my grassland as well, and getting rid of this, of the useless cards I pick up in my quest for stuff. The willet is a nice cheap water bird, but I don't think I want to draw it. Oh, that's a bird I want to draw. That's also nice. Still, that sparrow can stay there. So we should be tied. No, I'm going first. Oh, black-headed gull. I don't want to play against black-headed gull ever. So I'll just draw it. Maybe I'll even play it. Next move will be laying eggs, I guess. So let's just move it there. I think the woodpecker is actually not overly interesting because now I have found so many birds that can live outside of the forest and generate food for me. Oh, they didn't draw a grub again. That's unfortunate. Sorry, but taking that as a shot for my advancing to the next round. I will want to play a bird here. I have to give away some consolation grubs for them. So I will play the Junco and next to it the Purple Martin and have a very powerful grassland. Which means either the Swift or the Roadrunner I won't be able to play. I think I'm not going to play the Roadrunner. Because the Swift can really nicely make use of the surplus grubs. And it's cheaper. I mean, I can generate food without going to the forest, which is nice, but I'm not generating tons of food. So I will be just fine like this. I only have one egg left, so I have to lay some. Don't need this, I guess. Need grubs. And we can share some more grubs because now they have their food engine up and running. And the black woodpecker might just generate them tons of food. Purple Martin. I will need to move that sparrow away from there. So probably my next action will be draw cards. And then maybe play gull into the wetlands. Brand might be interesting. Because it's eligible for my bonus card. No, we can do better. Interesting. Also interesting. Laying eggs will be one of my next actions. Also, I don't need the space in the near future. just move it there. Okay. Way ahead on brown power, so it wouldn't technically be necessary to play that gull now. But in case, I mean, this is my last action, in case I need to draw a card early on next round, it might be nice to have that gull there. So after that, I think the sparrow will move to the forest and just stay there to support the next round goals. I'm really a fan of these migratory birds. They're not extremely powerful, but they're interesting to play and they're useful. I like it that they're part of the game. And I think they're a bit underrepresented. This is why I'm saying this, basically. They're not as underrated as the Thecla's Lark, which I will probably not play this game, even if I draw it. Although it would make a nice combo with the Junko and stuff. But yeah. So, round 3. We won the round goal, which is nice. Magpie might be a nice counter to my grassland, but it's also not overly exciting. My task is now to fill my bonus card and not suck too much on the round goals. When participating in this round goal filled columns is not a big deal. Sets of 3 eggs should also be possible. Because, I mean, they have a good grassland bird, but they don't have an egg-laying engine. So that should do the trick. I do want to get this down quite early. So I have a lot of stuff to do in this third round, as always. I feel like the third round of Wingspan is really always the crunch time. You have to make ends meet and really get your engine, finalize your engine, get it going. And still you only have 6 actions and end of the game is quickly approaching and it's always a bit of... puts me to panic always a bit. So I don't need to draw cards because they are really not interesting. So let's do what we can do best and lay some eggs. Move that to the forest. Turn this into a better card. Maybe not. I don't think that I'll need that buster this game. But I also don't need the woodpecker, so we can also tuck that. I'll need a fish. And also grubs. So the golden eye is ready. That's a really nice... I mean, it's not a raven, but... I mean, it's still a nice food engine. Can also pretty much imagine that the Common Swift won't be played. Because I'm probably not generating that much of a grub surplus. So, getting hold of a second forest bird would be kind of interesting. None of the birds there are really interesting. So, Laying eggs generates 4 points, and I can cycle through some cards. But I think I will draw cards once more to have a bit more of card selection. And I'm also looking for more wetland birds. Oh, it's really a bit complicated. So let's draw some cards. The Oriole. Let's pick some grubs. Grubs might be useful. The Oriole is not really good, because if they take food there won't be any grubs left, so it only does something when they roll also berries. So I would like to find a better forest bird. So, but now I don't want to blindly draw cards again, so I'll start doing this. Ooh, that's interesting, actually. That's really interesting. That could help. So, goodbye, Oriole. It's nice to meet you. This, that. And I can play Yellowhammer and gain food. I mean, I didn't want to get food in the first place. But now that this turns gain food into gain food and play bird, it is actually interesting. Just for that I wouldn't play it, but the fact that this most likely causes a tie for the round goal instead of a loss means that it's extra points. So that could be nice. I will try that. Also, it has 3 egg spaces, which could be interesting for the last round goal. This is a really interesting game. Also, Feckless Lark. Ooh, even score 3 points on the behaviorist. Nice. So at the moment I would take the fish and the grub and be kind of happy. And I would play the osprey with a yellow hammer because I do need the 3rd wetland scientist bird. Yep, that's what is going to happen. The Chiff Chaff. That's a bit late. Bluebird is also a bit late. Don't think I have any use for those. I also don't think that my opponent has any use of those. I mean, maybe of the Bluebird, but I don't really care. I'll draw random cards, I guess. No, we might use that. Oh, I built a combo. Nice. Maybe I find a puffin. So I'll need to lay eggs and find stuff. Which seems quite possible. And at least I have as a bottom line I can play the Condor. Or I can play the Common Swift actually. To lay more eggs. So that should be probably the next action. Yeah, let's play that. So I can spend fish, lay 5 eggs, activate Martin, activate Junko, depending on Martin, activate Fish Crow, and activate Phoebe. So it's actually important where to lay the eggs. 2, 2, 2. I don't want to play this. Don't need any of these. Also don't need this. At the moment there doesn't seem to be any reason to activate the Fish Crow, but we might want the Phoebe. So the question will be, is it worth it to gain food once in order to be able to play an extra bird, which at the moment would be the California Condor, which is kind of a gamble, or if it's better to lay eggs once more. At the moment I'm leaning towards simply laying eggs once more. How are they faring? They have a maximum of 4 sets at the moment. I have a maximum of 5 sets. So let's try to get there. Four sets. This. A lot of useless. Don't need to do that. Might want to do that. Yeah, so I will just lay eggs once more because playing a bird would ruin my sets. Opponent can lay 8 more eggs, which would mean 16, which would be only 3 sets, right? No, it would be 5 sets. But they cannot do that, so 4. In any case. So this is my last action. Opponent has 3 sets now. I would still be at 4 sets by the end of the game if I played the Condor, because I can spend this egg, have 4 sets left. But then the Condor is only good if it really hits something. So I'd rather go for making sure to win this round goal. 5th egg, 5th egg, 5th egg. Rest doesn't matter much. Tuck this, draw something new. Tuck this. Skip this, generate 1 more grub for everyone, because the Swift will be happy. That was one neat and tight game. I don't know if we will win this. We shouldn't fare too badly. But also, it's not great. We don't have any big point birds. Bonus card is mediocre. I don't know. Opponent's board also doesn't seem to be too impressive, but I also thought that last game, and then they had like 107 points or so. So yeah, I'm not a fan of counting things through, but I'm also not a fan of pointless bragging, so let's just see what happens. Nom 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 grubs. So I'm quite good at round goals this time, so 6 points ahead, that should be fine. Let's just see what happens. Oh, I'm ahead on birds, that's good. That looks good actually. Nice. That's actually the biggest point difference in this entire match. Okay, interesting. That has been a very intense match. Thank you for watching it, if you watched the entire thing. And also thank you if you only watched this game. And stay tuned for more Wingspan action in the future. So, take care, goodbye, see you next time.